Filipino cinema for a few years. I forgot to thank our sponsors. I should thank our sponsors first. Chief of all, Tiger Beer, thanks to whom we are able to bring many guests, and also we have a lot of beer from them. Hope you can come by tonight as well. We'll have a big party for the closing. In the past few years, we've really pushed for Southeast Asian cinema, particularly the Philippines. I remember a few years ago when we were trying to bring an audience for Filipino films. It was the idea of having more than 20 people for Filipino romance was sort of, a challenge. So I'm really happy to have so many of you. We have 6 Filipino films. Yes, thank you guys. Among the 6 Filipino films we have, I'm particularly happy to also have Sid and Aya. I think some people have an idea of what Filipino cinema is, and we're showcasing some action films, some violent films. But it's also nice to see a completely different side of what Filipino cinema can be. We have a great romance in there with this meet-cute storyline. And a lot of I think a lot of people have this idea of Southeast Asian cinema as poverty porn. You see like slum kids, and you're like, okay, is that what Southeast Asia is? It isn't. So I think in this movie you see a completely different image of Philippine cinema. And of course, we have the star of the film. I know that's what you're here for. So please welcome to the stage Anne Curtis. Anne Curtis, everybody. And would you like to say a few words about this film and to New York, the New Yorkers?
Okay. Hello, mabuhay. My name is Anne Curtis, and I'm from the Philippines. I'm part of the cast of this film, Sid and Aya, not a love story. I guess I'll leave it up to you to judge if this is or isn't a love story. As Sam mentioned earlier, this shows 2 different classes of the Philippines, which you will see in the film, and I was taken by surprise when my director told me that this is what some people notice, that the Philippines is always showcased as a depressing place, poverty all around. But here we will show you a different side of Metro Manila. And we'll also show you how, up to what extent Filipinos can go for love and for family. I know some people here might be able to relate, some of our OFWs who will do anything for their families, and even if that means giving up their love. So I hope you guys enjoy this film, and I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this film after. So maraming salamat po, and I hope you enjoy the movie. Maraming salamat sa lahat ng mga Pilipino po na nandito ngayon. Sana po mag-enjoy kayo sa pelikula namin. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne. And stick around. Anne will come back for a Q&A with my colleague Stephen Kramer, who's Munich-based afterwards. Thanks. Enjoy the film.
Start in New York. We're very happy today to have Anne Curtis. There's some Filipinos in the house.
Yes, hello. Magandang hapon po ulit. I hope you guys, good afternoon. I hope you guys enjoyed the film. Sana po nagustuhan niyo yung pelikula namin.
It's been a while since you've done a romance movie.
Yes, I think about two or 3 years since I last did a romance film. But why did I choose to do this? It was a different take on a romance story for Filipino films. I like that there's a change of tone in the storytelling by our director and writer.
So what's happening in the Philippines with romances? Like in the last year, in the last 6 months, they really changed and really pushing the audience in a new direction.
I think there is a change in terms of romance films. Even the Filipino audience, I think they're more open to seeing and experiencing a new kind of storytelling when it comes to love and romance. And you can see it with our upcoming films.
So this film made maybe like $4 to $5 million US. We're still tallying the box office internationally, like over 200 million peso. Why was it such a big hit? Why is it the biggest hit this year in the Philippines?
I think it's because people love the experience that they would rewatch it. It reaches all different the society classes we were able to tackle that in the film. So I think a lot of people in the Philippines were able to relate to it. We showed it all across the world. So we were in Italy, the Middle East, New Jersey. So we were all spread out all across the world. And I think why Filipinos enjoyed it, because at one point, especially our overseas Filipino workers who work very hard, they were able to relate at one point, I think, to our stories. So we loved hearing that feedback, and I guess that's why we were able to hit those numbers.
And the director, Irene, is a woman.
She is a woman. So I'm so happy to share that. I know it's a big change and movement that's happening now all across the world, where women are actually getting more and more opportunities to showcase their work at equal par.
Irene couldn't be here today because of filming commitments. She came 2 weeks ago for our opening weekends. We did interviews with the media at that time, but we actually wanted an Irene movie at this festival, and we told her like 2 months ago, and we waited until May 29th to see this movie. It was like the last film we picked for the festival.
Yay, thank you.
And it was still shooting on, I think, still editing on 26th of May.
Still editing, yes. Salamat po.
What I'm here just to thank Viva Films, who invested this film, released this film, and co-produced this movie, who really got us a screener, like a huge, unwatermarked, perfect screener, 8 gigabytes within 24 hours. All the team watched it and chose this movie. So a quick thanks to Viva Films and to the Film Development Council of the Philippines, helped us bring so many stars this week.
Thank you for having us.
Is it a different experience working for a female director? Not that there aren't many female directors in the Philippines.
Was it a different experience? Well, I've been, I guess that's what's great about the Philippines. There are a lot of female directors who are given a chance to work on both TV and films. So throughout my whole career, I've been given that opportunity, and I think that's what's amazing about the Philippines. They embrace everyone and give everyone an equal opportunity.
The biggest film last year was a female director, and maybe half of the big films this year by female directors in the Philippines.
Yes, I think it's great. As I said, everyone's at equal par in the Philippines.
So please come to the Philippines and make movies, or come back to the Philippines. So you shot this film when? During the time of By Bust, or before, or after?
This was, just trivia for you guys. Ding Dong, his name is Ding Dong, and he is Sid in this film. And if you saw in the last scene, he had really long hair. Those aren't extensions. So that was actually the first scene we shot for this film, and it was shot a year before we ended the film, because I had to finish By Bus. So we shot the end scene, and then we resumed shooting after By Bus after about 6 to 8 months.
I didn't see, so you're shooting By Bus at the same time sometimes?
Nope. I shot one scene, and then I did By Bus, and then to the latter part, we were kind of going from set to set. Yeah.
So you weren't covering up bruises on your arms or legs, or?
I was, yeah, just here. But yeah, we were able to hide them.
So if you got a ticket for tonight, it's sold out. You can check out all the bruises.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think I just like to take this time to really thank the New York Asian Film Festival for giving the Filipino cinema, or the Filipino movie industry, opportunity to showcase not one but 6 films in this festival for 2018. So thank you so much for recognizing Filipino talent.
We'd like to bring great films, and we're finding them in the Philippines right now.
Thank you.
Let's take some questions. We have one microphone going around the room, and it's very hard to see you guys, so please wave your hands in the air. Okay, we'll let the microphone lady find you.
Yeah, hi Anne.
Hi.
Welcome to New York.
Thank you.
Let's have questions about Sid and I, rather than By Bust. We'll come back tonight for By Bust questions.
So, quick question. So I was very surprised of the shift from, the usual saccharine, sweet, tear-jerker love story to this kind of, as you said, it was a difference in tone. So what's your take on that shift in terms of when that might have occurred or why the shift, you know, in taste, in film-going taste? Maybe you might provide some commentary. Thank you.
I honestly think it's just a matter of going with the times and giving what the Filipino or the worldwide audience is looking for. I think people can relate more. It was more realistic. I mean, yes, there were tears, but it wasn't the over-dramatized kind of like, which is very typical in Filipino films. We all know this. So I think it was, that's why people enjoyed it more, because it was more relatable. It was more real as to what human emotions or people actually experience when going through a tough period or a love life problem, I guess.
We have 6 films here from the Philippines, and 3 are produced by Viva Films, who is annual agents under Viva Films, your contracts.
Yes.
So I think Viva are taking a lot of risks this year and doing different kinds of movies, like By Bus tonight. Today's movie, Sid and Aya. We have one more title from Viva in this festival. Whereas maybe next year, Star Cinema will come back. They're bringing in new directors. So Philippines is a huge sea change right now. And maybe 3 years ago, we focused more on independent cinema, but now the excitement is really in the mainstream cinema in the next 12 months ahead. Another question, please, right here. If you can get.
Was all about love, like 12, 15 years ago, which is the typical, you know, like love story romance film in the Philippines. I'm curious, when I watch Philippine romantic films, I feel like there's always one-liners that are pretty memorable, and I'm curious for this film, since it's a bit different from the typical romance film, if you had any favorite one-liners or if there's any lines from the film that has special meaning to you.
Hindi lahat ng I love you love story na. And then another one that I really love was pagod na akong mahalin yung mga taong kailangan kong mahalin.
Can you translate for us?
So not all I love yous are a love story. And the other one was, I'm so tired of loving the people that I have to love. So those are my favorite. I don't know what the direct translation was for hashtag hugot lines. Like hashtag feels, I don't know, something like that, yeah.
Let's pass the microphone forward to 2 rows, to the lady with a question. Is it still? A lot of guys want to ask romance questions. Let's get a woman here answering a question. I think you had a question. 2 rows in front to the guy in the blue shirt who took the last question. Just pass the microphone forward. Okay. I gotta apologize. This song is gonna stick with you for the next few weeks in your head.
Heartbeats, yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
So I was totally expecting to be heartbroken by the end, and I mostly was, but also really hopeful. And I was just wondering, when you first saw the script and saw the ending, knowing what you were going to be going through and just seeing it for the first time, what was that like for you? What was your first initial reaction?
I actually really love this question. Thank you for this, because when I first read the script, I again was talking to our director. I was saying that the last meeting where they see each other again, I said, maybe that's unnecessary. And she said, why? And I said, because I feel she wouldn't go back to him. She wouldn't even give him the chance to talk to him again. And the reason why she added that is because each and every one who watches this film will have a different interpretation of that ending. Some people want it to be hopeful. So really, the ending really teaches us how we look on love. Are you the type who will give someone another chance? Are you the type who would say, no, I would not ever even talk to that person ever again? So it really teaches you more on how you look about love. And I said, yeah, I guess I would be hopeful and have that ending wherein you don't really know what's going to happen. Were they friends? Did they start all over? Or did it become a whole cycle all over again of betting on each other?
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're out of time. Thank you very much. Anne's back later for Buy Bust. We're sold out. Please queue for tickets. There's a few left over maybe in returns. Thank you very much for the great questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
good job.